Okay, time to get sushi. I just did a little experiment. I put my timer on my iPad, and every time a gang stalker drove by, someone with a loud muffler, someone screeching their tires, an airplane flying by, I pushed the lap button so I could see how often a gang stalker drives by. And it changes depending on the weather, depending on the day, depending on the time. And in the afternoon at 2 p.m., 5 p.m., sorry. My iPad is 3 hours behind. There was about one every 40 seconds. And in the 5 minutes and something seconds that I did the experiment, there were 3 airplanes that drove, small airplanes that drove over our house. And then right after I stopped the stopwatch, because I had to stop it because there was no more room to show it on a screenshot, basically. I wanted to just post a screenshot online to show how many laps there were in a 5-minute span of time. And so you could only see like 7 or 8 laps or something. So I just stopped it then. But then a couple minutes later, a 4th airplane flew over our house. Presumably it was the same airplane, just doing circles. Someone just beeped. And then that was by 2:01, a 4th airplane had flown over. I had posted the picture and stopped doing the lap times at 1:57, according to my iPad. Really, that means plus 3 hours, so like 4:57, 5:01. And then by 2:07, I think, there was a 5th airplane flying over our house. And so I'm putting it on Super View right now. I'm pretty excited, actually. I think there's different times to use Super View and different times to use linear view. Super View kind of distorts it to a fish angle. You can see a lot more with Super View. And if you're filming yourself, like an interview or a vlog or something, I think it's better to use linear view. Or if you're filming yourself from far away, maybe, because if you're kind of filming yourself close up, it kind of looks strange when you have a fisheye look going on. But then when you're filming while you're biking, it's just more, or if you're just driving, or kind of like showing the surroundings, it's better to use Super View, because then you have a much wider lens. So I'm actually pretty excited about that, and I'm going to take the extra time. I'm going to do my due diligence, and I'm going to put the horizon leveling function on it in my GoPro Quick app, so it's going to be like really nice looking. I figure I might be kind of boring, so I'll at least make the video quality as good as possible. And I'm going to hopefully get something really good, which is nori paper to make sushi. I don't have much money right now. I have like $11 left in my bank, plus $10 cash that someone gave me for Easter. And you see this white car coming? This could be dangerous for me. This car could suddenly turn and swerve and try and hit me, because they're in the turning lane. Here's the one headlighter coming up to the left. This car kind of saved me here because I was running out of things to talk about all of a sudden. I think I'm gonna put the speed up a little bit. Because when you go faster on Super View, it actually seems like way faster. If you want to make your videos look as fast as possible when you're riding a bike, put them on Super View. I used to look at people to say hello, now I don't do that anymore. Woo! Ooh, I also sat on my old e-bike today. My old big clunky one. It was actually really comfortable. It's actually a more expensive e-bike than this. And if you're into e-bikes, they have them on sale in Canada right now for like $368 for basically the same one as mine. Crazy, crazy deal. Like, that's like totally nuts. Like, you could probably go, you might, I don't know, I've never bought anything on Amazon Prime Day, but it might be the only type of deal that you'd see on Amazon Prime Day. But yet I found this deal. You know, I was like searching for, damn it, I don't like that this bitch has headphones on. She's not gonna hear me, or dog's gonna attack me or some shit. Fucking gross, fucking 0 out of 10 SpongeBob SquarePants physique. Ugh. You know, there's a lot of people, you know, and you know, there's like a lot of people who are like, the gang stalkers are very frequently immigrants wearing fake Prada sunglasses. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't know. It seems like it's like people who are trying so hard to be cool, and they don't even realize how like completely uncool they are. And I have nothing against immigrants. Like, that's not the point. The point is, like, when you're like poor and you're getting blood money to buy, you're like coming to a new country to get blood money to buy fake Gucci and to have a subwoofer in your car. You know, that's so lame. Like, and your whole identity remains a secret because if anyone found out, you'd be fucked. But yet you're like, I got my fake Gucci and I got my big sunglasses and I got my subwoofer. And look, I've you know, I've had my fair share of immigrant friends. So don't get me wrong. Okay, it's not that I'm not saying it's like uncool to be an immigrant. In fact, I'd like to be an immigrant to Costa Rica. I'd like to go to Costa Rica, actually. But I'm saying it's just part of the whole trashiness of pretending to be something you're not. Pretending to have that bling bling. Pretending to have moral superiority. Pretending to have a soul. You know, unless, as Keanu Reeves said, unless your immigrants look like this, unless your ancestors look like this, and he has a picture of native Indians, you're probably an immigrant. Oh man, come on now. There's a gang stalker driving by. You can hear that muffler. Okay. Got my bicyclette locked up. And now we're on the quest for nori paper. They know I'm going to get this, so they might have people standing by the nori paper. They might have people buy all the nori paper before I can get there. Pretty lame, you know. I'm trying to get my camera nice and angled. I forgot I'm gonna be, you know, doing the image leveling on the quick app. And these Nazi gang stalkers training their kids. And I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, but the gang stalkers are basically saying, put a hidden camera in my child's room for money. Watch them 24/7 so an anonymous person can watch. But if they're supposed to be the good guys, why would they need to be surveilled? Is it because surveillance isn't the point? And the real point is making blue movies? Is it just blue movie creation? There's more gang stalkers than TIs. Is that because they want to have all those gang stalker families to make late night films with? Okay, so this was supposed to be the aisle where the nori paper was. And I do remember seeing nori paper here all of a sudden by accident and going, oh, wow. I never thought I'd see that. Could see just, sometimes there's people who mention, there's this one guy, he mentioned in a comment last time, oh, did you see that one person rubbing their face when you first came in? And I was like, no, I didn't even see that. But he said also, what kind of camera do you use? And I said, GoPro 8. And then previous to him, there was another comment that said, you should edit your videos because this is bizarre as fuck. What kind of equipment do you use? And I kind of got the sense that sometimes they'll have someone kind of put you down, and then they'll have someone write a long comment to you who's nice, who you think is real, and then at the end they'll say something that correlates to the previous comment that was cruel. Oh, yes! Would you look at that? Yeah. So this is going to be a good trip. And here we're at the expensive store. I could go to the other grocery store. Maybe I should. This is $6.99 for, oh, $5.97. That's not actually so bad. Okay, so I should be getting 2 of these. But if I don't have enough avocados, then getting 2 of these would be useless. There's a crazy dumper over there. You should see this dumper. I'd show you, but it's probably in bad taste. Really, really crazy proportions. She had like 50-inch hips and like 25-inch waist. I thought the avocados were over here. Oh, here they are. Let's see, $6.97. Yeah, right. What are you, fucking insane? $6.97 for avocados? What are you, fucking insane? Although, you know what? Maybe I will. Maybe I am insane. Maybe I will get these avocados, actually. Then I'm gonna have to get two of those other things, you know, those seaweed papers. Yeah, maybe I am insane. Maybe I am gonna have to get 2 of these. Maybe I am gonna have to put a whole avocado in each roll. Could you imagine if these little fucking dweebs attacked us one-on-one? Could you imagine? Like, seriously, could you imagine? If we were legally allowed to defend ourselves, if we had human rights to defend ourselves from the cops and the paramedics and the lawyers and the gatekeepers in society. Could you even imagine? Anyways, so I have some juice at home. I would get some juice from concentrate, but I can't actually get that here because they don't have it. They have other kinds of juice here. Oh, here's that dumper I was talking about. They have other kinds of juice here, like, you know, like it's already in a bottle. It's like, you know, not from concentrate, which arguably might not be that much more or less expensive. Is this the best lineup? I think so. So 12, 15. I'm gonna turn the camera down for privacy reasons. I didn't bring my basket today, but I brought my bag, so I'm gonna be carrying a bag on the side of my bike. And we also got our shed door fixed today, so we have a lock on our shed door, so I can keep my e-bike in the shed now, which my last bike got stolen from the shed, but whatever. At least there's a lock on it now. I mean, the gang stalkers know the combination for the lock, obviously. And plus we have a key lock in the house that's locking the bike up inside the shed, which has a combo lock. But they could also go in our house to get the key. Hello.
Do you need that?
No, thank you. Okay, I have 10 cash, and I'm gonna have to do some cash, some debit.
Okay.
So I'll do like 13 cash.
43 maybe? 45?
Yeah, sure.
15, 45?
25, 35, 45.
15, 45. So 998 the card.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Pick this up. It's actually pretty hard to put a milk crate on a e-bike.
Yeah, and it's also high
It's
volume.
tedious. Oh yeah. And I'm liking my microphone placement. It actually fits good and snug with my helmet. Oh, look at this e-bike. Not even locked up. That's a cool one. I wonder if they're selling it. Doesn't look like it. I think I'm getting better at asserting my boundaries with, I'm talking about with real people, like people who are not gang stalkers. Because sometimes, you know, just because someone's a TI doesn't mean that they're not going to kind of, like, insist that you insert your, not insert, assert your boundaries. You know, and I'm not really that good at that. Like, I'm kind of a pushover. Okay. So we basically have everything, including organic. Why were these are expensive avocados. These must have been organic. But we have organic rice at home as well. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah. And it's a fucking nice day for a bike ride. There are some things they can't take from you. They can't take your attitude. They can't take your meditation. And your attitude's kind of a result of your meditation. They can't take the sunshine. Or the air, you know. I'm being kind of cheesy now, you know. They can't take your smile. They can't take your ability to cook sushi. They can't take your friends. They can't take your friends. And you know, you can, even if your friends are separated from you, you can tell which people are for you. And some people have never had a friend. Some people have never loved anyone, never loved themselves, never loved a single person. And I was watching, there's this extreme board I go to. It's like softcore porn of like female domination scenes from TVs and movies. And this guy has compiled. If you want to see it yourself, search thousands. Write it numerically. Don't spell it out. Write thousands femdom clips Reddit, and see the link that comes up. And there's some guy. His name is like ASJO, and he's compiled basically every femdom scene from movies and TV in history. He has like thousands upon thousands of them, and I viewed every single one of them. And finally, I talked to him because I was desperate. I was like, "Hey, I'm like your biggest fan, and I hate Reddit. You know, I hate people on Reddit. It took a lot for me to do this." I was like, "I'm like your biggest fan," and there's this clip that I saw that it was on YouTube, and it disappeared, and I can't find it anymore. And it's like these three women, and they put a steel mask in the fire, and they get it red hot, and then they melt it on a guy's face, and then they rape him, and then they keep him hostage until he likes it, and then they kidnap another guy and have sex in front of him while they cut his balls off. And it's like, this is like the best scene I've ever seen in my life, and I need you to actually like add this scene to your collection if you ever see it, because it's like, I know just from seeing your work, you know, your compilation skills, that this would be a scene that you would definitely put on your list. And he responded. He was like, "Oh, and then by the way," I was like, "Oh, and by the way, are you circumcised?" Because I am, and I'm doing foreskin restoration, you know, just as a public service, I'm telling you that. And I have a feeling that people who are into femdom are into it because they were circumcised as babies, and it's like latent trauma. And he said, "No, I'm not circumcised, but I actually don't know the scene you're talking about, but I'll try and find it." And then I saw that he posted a note about the scene on his compilation. He said there was someone who was telling me I have to add this scene, and I actually already did add it, but I removed it because one of the women was too ugly. One of the women, she jacks off the guy, and then right as he's coming, the other girl puts his dick in her pussy. And it's the mom. She was like 60s, like 70 years old. And I think he said one of the daughters was too ugly too. I'm not sure. But basically he was like, "Yeah, that movie is called Plank Face." And I already know that one. I didn't realize it at first. And I was like, wow, you know? And then in hindsight, you know, it was like, yeah, I guess it's okay. Plank Face is pretty good, but it's not. There was the one girl who I really liked. She wore a mask as well. But then the second time I watched it, I kind of liked the other girl too, who was a bit more thick, but she still had good proportions. You know, sometimes it's kind of hard to tell. And okay, so this guy's letting me go. Someone's honking. I don't like courteous drivers, actually. You know, I would rather... There's a gangstalker car to the right of me. So tonight we have really good sushi tonight. We have like the best. Like, this is like fucking premium. And I went into the weed store the other day to try to find some vegan weed beverages. They didn't have them. Probably a gang stalker truck there. Could be a gang stalking motorcyclist. Now, something strange. If you'll notice a moment ago, I didn't mention it, but there was a car pulled over on the right side of the street. You would have seen it when I was sitting at the light. It was a black car, and he pulled over to the right, and then he pulled back onto the road. And now up here, I think that same black car is pulled over on the left side of the road, on our left. And that could be, that could be gang stalking. I'd probably guess that that's gang stalking. And the house they're at is a gang stalker, or I think, or it's next door to a gang stalker house. Could just be or it's 2 doors next to a gang stalking house. Let's see. There's no one in that car. So it could be a delivery or something. Okay, I'm gonna go fast. A lot of the cars that drive by, the gang stalker cars, they're not only loud mufflers, but they're like pop, 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 pop. And when you see the cars, like you expect it's gonna be a Corvette, like, kind of like that Corvette that just drove by. You expect it's gonna be like some like super Ferrari or something. And you see it and it's like some shitty car with like a modified exhaust. And it's like someone who it's like some very obviously poor person wearing fake glasses who's like skinnier than me, like, someone who's like out of shape and gross and like a total dweeb. So we're gonna do some cooking. But the reason why I brought up that Femdom Extreme Board website is because I saw this woman and she was like screaming at this guy and she was torturing him and she was so angry. And I thought, man, she looks really angry, And then on the surface, she's like really friendly to people. But then when she goes into her dungeon where she has this guy locked up, and she has like a two-way mirror, so like he has to watch and listen to her when she has company over, and which in the mirror is facing her bed, obviously. But then she goes into the dungeon and she's like screaming at him as she's torturing him, and it suddenly clicked that the people who are doing this are actually having a bad time. Like when you look through the two-way mirror and you see them how they actually are, and they're so angry and they're like fucking, they're so angry and they want their anger to be offloaded on you. Cool as a fantasy, but cool as an acting gig, but in real life, they're actually probably having a worse time than us. The life of a gang stalker is probably worse than our life. And that's probably one of those counterintuitive things, kind of like how people in poor countries, let me say some good things about people in poor countries now, because I kind of they're actually happier. They're actually the happiest people. You know, I'm making fun of the people who use blood money to try and get ahead. But the people, you know, who are poor because they have to have a community to survive. You know, those people. Whoa. Damn it. Okay, let's see, maybe I shouldn't have even fucking locked this. Okay, gotta get there. You know, it's counterintuitive, but those people are happier than the people in the first world countries. You know, they have to have friends and family to survive. And that's something that we have, you know. There's a lot of people who have never loved anyone, who have never loved themselves. And I used to be somewhat narcissistic. And I can tell you, when you're narcissistic, you don't love anyone, no matter... I mean, you do, but it's different than you think. It's like you're blocked. It's like there's some blockage that happens. There's something else. If you love someone, your self-image comes first. I think it's summed up perfectly by this friend I had who was very successful, narcissistic. He's a self-made millionaire now. He has a legit 10 out of 10 wife, a full-on pog. He has a kid. He works at a $30,000 a month rehab center. He used to wear spy glasses. I just dreamt of him in my afternoon nap today. I wondered, why was he wearing spy glasses? And he was at a restaurant. I think I was there too. I mean, this was a long time ago. Either he told me this story. I was at a restaurant with him one time, and his dad. And I think his dad started coughing. And then later on, he was either telling me about that time or another time when his dad was coughing. And he's like, when my dad was choking in the restaurant, the thing that I was thinking was, I'm embarrassed that he's causing a scene. And you know, that's narcissism. You can make a joke out of it, but it's funny because if you didn't laugh, you would cry. Anyways, thanks for watching. I also have organic rice. I don't know if I told you that. You should know that before I go. I have some fucking organic rice here. Organic avocados, yeah!